says it's time for Georgio celebrity check. Tune in now, folks, we need to talk about this. Tune in now, folks, we need to talk about this. Tune in now, folks, we need to talk about this. Georgio says it's time for Georgio celebrity check. Tune in now, folks, we need to talk about this. Georgio says it's time for Georgio celebrity check.
One step forward, off the edge, no safety net, no second guess. No second guess. No second guess. You look at me and I just dive, not sure if we'll make it out alive. Make out alive. Make it out alive. You pull me close, say trust the fall, but I don't know if you'll catch me at all. You'll catch me at all. Falling, falling, no way to break. Hope you catch me before I wake. Loving you is a reckless move, like falling without a parachute. Sky spinning, breath runs thin. Love's a game I never win. I never win. I never win. But here I am, mid-air with you, hoping this time I break through. I break through. I break through. You pull me close, say trust the fall, but I don't know if you'll catch me at all. You'll catch me at all. Falling, falling, no way to break. Hope you catch me before I wake. Loving you's a reckless move, like falling without a parachute. Midnight whispers, sleepless nights. Is this love or just a flight? Or just a flight? Or just a flight? Tell me, baby, are your arms still wide? Or will I crash from this high? From this high? From this high? I don't want to hit the ground, but I'm too far up to turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Would you hold me if I fall apart? Or will you leave me in the dark? In the dark. In the dark. Falling, falling, no way to break. Hope you catch me before I wake. Loving you's a reckless move, like falling without a parachute. Wind is rushing, air is thin. If I fall, will you let me in? Will you let me in? Will you let me in? Or will I wake up all alone, falling fast but on my own? On my own. On my own.
We need to talk about this. Every rumor, every twist on the Georgio Says podcast. We need to talk about. So hit that play, stay in the know. Georgio's here to steal the show. On the Georgio Says podcast, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this.
All right, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. It's an all new episode of Georgio Says Live. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know there's still people trickling in, but that's okay. You know how it goes here. I'm live Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't join me live, no worries. You can catch me on the replay. The replay crew is strong on my YouTube channel. But really quick, let's go ahead and go through the roster. Hi, Jeff. Thank you so much. Our channel moderator couldn't really run this show without him. So thank you so much, Jeff. And yes, just in time, Danny, Gossip Girl. Perfect time. Hello, Adam. Yes, welcome in. Oh, look who it is. ATX Mel. Hello, hello. So you guys were listening to a new single that's coming off of the new album I'm releasing. It is slated to hit Spotify tomorrow, and then iTunes and all the other platforms will follow after that. So that was one of the singles, Falling Without a Parachute, from the new album, Glitter, Bruises, and Forever, just in time for Valentine's Day. Anyways, so we got to get into, obviously, the Salt Lake City Part 3 reunion recap. It's over, guys. It's over. I'm sad that it's come to a close, but here we are. We knew this was coming, but we're going to discuss that. I also wanted to discuss a couple other things before we jump in to that. And you know what it is. You guys already know. I pretty much feel like I'm talking about this every day, and we'll continue to talk about this in some capacity until things are settled. We are talking about, yes, Blake and Justin. But this time, it's not so much about Blake and Justin. It's more about Blake and us making sure, because here's the thing, guys, if you were living under a rock or you missed yesterday's show, I did show you guys that Blake Lively did share the official poster from Another Simple Favor. And I've even said previously on another episode that this movie is unfortunately taking a hit, which then means Anna Kendrick is also taking a hit. So even though she's not involved in anything regarding the Blake, Ryan versus Justin of it all, she did film this sequel with Blake. And now we all know that these two did not seem to have a great relationship working on the first movie. There was a lot of speculation that they did not get on. And so it was, interesting knowing that they filmed the sequel. Perhaps things are better this time around. Who's to know? All we do know is we still don't have a trailer for this movie. We absolutely know that it's going straight to streaming. So shout out to Amazon Prime. And it's going to be released on May 1st. Okay. The backlash, though, when this movie poster was posted on Instagram, the comment section obviously went wild. Okay. It went wild because people are, cracking jokes, being like, is this Blake's edit of the movie, or is it, the director's cut of the movie? And so the director finally chimed in, and I don't have the screenshot of his comment, but I had it somewhere in my phone. But nonetheless, he basically was saying this is his, cut, and it was nothing but lovely, essentially working with Blake. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. We get it. This movie's already losing its steam, or whatever steam it could have had, because everyone's focused on how pissed off they are at Blake for a good reason, because it's not looking good, right? And then her side is telling us, oh, don't worry, we have so much more we're going to add to our original lawsuit. You just wait until February 14th. Why do you need another... Well, at that point, it was another week before you'd be able to amend whatever you already had, which has already been sitting out to dry at this point. So what are you doing? What is taking so long? If you guys are sitting on something massive here that could shift things in your direction, why aren't you posting it? No, am I alone in this? I'm confused. By Valentine's Day. So you're going to drop it on Valentine's Day in hopes that it ruins whatever romantic evening Justin has planned with his wife? It's just, it's getting very like, anyways. That's the energy I have. Like, anyways, girl, like, what is going on? Anyways, I want to point out that I feel like Anna Kendrick's going to lose steam with this movie. They're going to be promoting it at South by Southwest, so that should be interesting. But I wonder, like, if people are going to not stream the movie because of Blake. And it's, for me, I understand why people that are pissed off at Blake don't want to give her the stream, but it's not just her. I feel like it's ultimately impacting Anna Kendrick, which, by the way, doesn't make sense that she's even look at this movie poster. Like, this is the stuff that people were pointing out in the comments. Like, why is Blake's name sitting higher than Anna Kendrick's? I said this on yesterday's show. It doesn't make sense. Anna Kendrick's done over half of what Blake has done in terms of movies and pretty much in box office numbers. So it's strange that, again, it's like this little slight, to make sure that Blake is always the center of attention. But don't you worry, guys, because I went in and I fixed this because I wanted to fix the movie poster to ensure that it's given the proper justice. Okay. So here we are. I fixed it. Okay. Blake Lively's name is now sitting lower. Anna Kendrick's is higher, and something happened. Blake Lively fell off the martini glass. I don't know what happened. But yes, I will definitely be watching this. I was a big fan of the first one. And I'm not saying or screaming that they should have put this in theaters, because who's to know if people would have ran to the theaters to see this? Probably not. So maybe it's better suited for streaming. I just hope that people tune in and stream it. I know I'll be watching it for a number of reasons. I'll be paying closer attention to the dynamic between Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively. Also, I'll be watching them promote it with whatever coverage they do of the press tour for this movie at South by Southwest. Really quick, just want to say before we jump into the recap that if you are live with me, please go ahead and smash the like button. If you're not subscribed, please do get subscribed and hit the notification bell so you don't miss whenever I upload or go live outside of this 4 p.m. window. What else do I want to say before we jump in? Yes, thank you to everyone who was on yesterday's show. I announced that Jeff and I are launching a brand of pasta called Pasta Rituals. And I was talking yesterday that we went to our first official tasting, and we will be launching this officially in stores and whatnot in the early spring. So stay tuned, but make sure to go and follow us on Instagram at Pasta Rituals. You can also visit pastarituals.com to stay updated on launch date and anything fun coming your way. So thank you guys for all the new follows over there. I really appreciate it. Jeff and I really appreciate it. We're trying to make things happen over here. Okay. So with that being said, I think it's a good time to jump in to this episode recap, which was the part 3 of the season 5 reunion for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Okay, let's dive right on in.
It's time for Georgio's Real Housewives episode recap. We need to talk about this. Let's get into this episode recap.
All right. So I'm not sure if you guys tuned in to part 3 or not, but I'm telling you what, this was a solid season for Salt Lake City. I don't care. These women brought it for the most part. There are some women that are lagging, and we kind of saw that play out during this reunion. Whitney and Meredith, we're looking at you, okay? Now, what was interesting about this part was we dive obviously into really trying to reconcile whatever issues are going on still between the women in hopes that we can start at least at a clean slate, at ground zero, so that we can give an opportunity to keep going. But first things first, we get Brittani on the stage. And I don't know about you guys, I like Brittani in theory because there have been some elements that she's added to the show that I find to be very, kind of like how Kathy Hilton adds that layer of humor in tense moments or tense situations. Brittani has that ability. It's just that she's so messy and all over the place and erratic that, it doesn't land well because she literally is just acting like she's on a TV show. Like she wants to be the star and get all this attention. And she goes about it in a lot of ways that don't make it easy for the women to warm up to her or want to engage her, because she does come off messy, considering she tried to record the ladies on the Sprinter van. She got busted. She got caught making up the situation around whether she was physical with Jared or not, but yet kept going back and forth with him and wanting to make announcement after announcement, also just really being petty and juvenile. She didn't come across as someone that is mature, and neither is Jared. And if we're going to be honest, Jared is a hanger-on. He is looking to be relevant in any which way he can. He's clearly a piece of garbage, because if you watched, then you heard Bronwyn read the DM. Okay, and I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it to you guys. I think I have it. I wrote it down. It was appalling. And the fact that even during the reunion airing, when Brittani said that she's not at that time was not with Jared, they put a lower third at the bottom to basically say they have since made up and they've become Instagram official, which we've all seen, unfortunately, multiple times. But during the point, and this is actually a funny full circle moment, actually, because I almost wanted to say this in my recap, but I didn't. But I'll say it here. If you guys remember the after show where Bronwyn says that someone told her at, I think it was Angie's party, that basically Jared had a very small piece of anatomy. Okay. And so in the after show, she says it. And so I took it, and you guys know I like to play around with music. And so I'll make fun bits into songs from the shows or whatever. Jesus jugs, Jesus wants his jugs back is a example of that. But this time I played around just a short like snippet where basically it was a song called Jared Has a Very Small, can I say I'm going to say it, penis. And this is the funny part of it all. It's not even that part. When I posted it, within minutes, I was like, this is just not sitting right with me. I know it's kind of funny, but also not really funny. Like it's almost like beneath me type of humor. And as I was thinking that, lo and behold, Mary Cosby is in my DMs, and she's like, you should take this down. This is like basically we shouldn't be doing this, or nobody should be doing this, right? So I was like, in the moment, I was like, this is crazy. So I responded to her and I said, that's funny you say that. I was just thinking the same thing. Like, I don't know if I want to keep this up. So anyways, we had a nice conversation. Shout out to Mary. Mary is a solid human being, is what I will say. But what I thought was funny was last night, you could tell Mary's face, because she was really trying to be respectful, and she has a view on, basically shitting on men just for the sake of it. She doesn't believe in that. And so anyways, so hearing Bronwyn read this message from Jared, okay, I was like, well, then that song deserves to be out, because you are, even if you don't have a small penis, you're acting like a small penis. You know what I'm saying? So basically, this is what Jared sent to Bronwyn. What the fucking hell is your fucking problem? Are you fucking kidding me? Coming out on national television, making fun of my anatomy? You little bitch. Do you even understand the backlash I'm getting on social media? I guarantee I am twice the size of any man you have been with. I'm disgusted by what a low vibrational human you are to disparage me like that for all the sake of trying to earn your spot on the show. I could certainly pick apart all of your anatomy, but I'll remain classy in the public eye and keep it between you and I. So, yeah. In hindsight, no, I don't think the song should go back up because, like, again, beneath me. But after hearing that, I was like, what a gross man. Like, absolutely not. Absolutely. Adam, exactly. It's giving LDE, little dick energy. Absolutely. Like, what is the point of this? Why are you scolding at the cast members? You're not a cast member, Jared. My God. So then we get into this, like, where Brittani is now trying to bring back up the whole thing with Meredith and how she heard her throwing up, from her room when they were in Puerto Vallarta. And obviously we saw Meredith's reaction to this on the show, which was, you better cut this out, and basically like trying to go after Brittani hard. we find out that behind the scenes, off camera, Brittani did go to Meredith first, okay, to basically check in, be like, I heard something going on. Were you throwing up or is everything okay? And Meredith basically was like, no, none of that happened, right? So then cut to Brittani brings it up on camera anyway, and now makes more sense why Meredith's reaction was the way it was, which also lets you know, this is one example, but it lets you know that there's a ton of things that we do not see, right? So as we've learned with the Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively situation, context is key. Context is key. Like a good example is like, it's as if, from my view, looking at Blake Lively's lawsuit looks like an edited version of a reality show, and Justin Baldoni's lawsuit is basically all the raw footage before it gets edited into an episode, right? So that's kind of like what this is. So you find out, okay, well, Meredith was pissed because she did address this already off camera with her. No, I did not throw up. I didn't make myself throw up. I wasn't screaming. I wasn't crying. Okay? Chill out. But Brady was like, no, I'm not chilling out. And then waits for the cameras to go up and then brings it up. So when they bring this up at the reunion, Brittany's like, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to stand on the fact that you were absolutely throwing up because it's like, you can't miss it. And she says that it woke her up out of her slumber. So not sure if Brittany's a light sleeper or a heavy sleeper. Now I am a heavy sleeper. So if I'm out, I'm out. It's going to take a lot for me to be woken up out of my sleep, which is scary for a number of reasons. Trust me, I know. But the point is that clearly, I'm going to say I believe that Brittany did hear that Meredith was throwing up. That does not mean that there's an eating disorder thing going on here, because that can't always be the reason why someone's throwing up. She could have been sick. It could have been nerves. It could have been she was getting into a fight with her husband about something, and it made her sick. I don't know. Maybe she had some of the water by accident in Puerto Vallarta and it made her sick. I mean, I don't know. I don't like people that try to throw an insinuation about someone possibly having, an eating disorder and then flipping it and saying, well, no, I'm not saying it lightly. Because Brittany's point is like, I've had an eating disorder, so I wouldn't say it lightly. Also saying, I would know. And maybe there's more to this than we do know. I did, however, clock that when Mary was going off on Brittany about all of this, they pan back to Angie and Meredith, and they both give each other a look that two best friends give each other when they're either acknowledging something in the moment or there's something that they clocked in the moment that they both caught on to. And I can't tell if it was Brittany or Meredith. I would like to say it's more Meredith that they were clocking and acknowledging each other about something regarding her, because I don't think they have enough weight in Brittany to even care enough. But there was something that happened that made them look at each other, and it's stuck out to me because I'm sure Angie and Mary have had a lot of conversations around Meredith and the type of friend she is, because how could they not, right? Mary's also been friends with Meredith for a long time. But this new budding friendship that Angie and Mary have clearly is bothering Meredith. It's clearly bothering her because she even says, like, when at the end of the reunion for final thoughts, Andy makes everyone go around, basically say something nice about the person that they basically were in a fight with. And when Meredith tells Angie that, she seems like she's a good friend based off of the fact that she's friends with Mary. And like, I don't know, but it seems like you guys, like, it's almost the way she was saying it was like, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you guys clearly you must be a good friend because you and Mary, I can see, are really good friends. It's like, well, why is that such a like thing? Like it's clear from Mary's point of view that Meredith is a different type of friend. She has a different level of depth with her. Clearly, because she didn't share anything that was happening with Robert Jr. with Meredith. Wouldn't you think that yes, they've been friends for a long time, but the fact that she didn't feel comfortable enough to share that with Meredith, but then confided in Angie, that means that she really does trust Angie and that they've both given each other the vulnerability about what they're dealing with, where they know that they have each other's back. And I do believe that. And I think it does bother Meredith. I think Meredith felt a little odd man out during this reunion, if I'm being honest. She was fighting for her life like Whitney was fighting for her life. Because they don't have a lot going on. The first things first, the Angie of it all. First of all, Angie would not still be rehashing any of this crap with Meredith if Meredith's energy was of someone who was really trying to move on. She's not. There's something that really bugs Meredith about Angie. Is it that her husband is so involved? Is it that she seems to have a healthy relationship in her marriage? I don't know. There's something that's bugging her, because even in this reunion, like, they're still trying to figure it out. And it's like, I thought you guys moved on from this like several times. And every time I go back, it's like, oh, it's because Meredith has this weird energy about her that then shifts it again. And then they go right back to being spatty with each other. So much so that when it comes up that Meredith did squash it, she did like take accountability, because Mary called her out. She's like, why can't you ever take any accountability for anything? You're always saying that someone's doing something to you. It's always someone doing something to you first, and then you're defending. And it's like this whole victim situation that everyone is pinning on Lisa Barlow all the time is really for Meredith. Meredith does not always take accountability at all. And she gets away with being frantic and in the moment freaking out and yelling at people because she's trying to deflect from something. And I do feel like Brittany was hitting a trigger when she was bringing that stuff up. I'm, again, not saying that Meredith hasn't either, but something was triggered within Meredith. I do believe Meredith was probably getting sick and throwing up. I do believe that. I don't know why Brittany would make that up. That's a weird thing to make up. She's weird, but she's not like that weird. Come on. Adam says Meredith is jealous because she was the only one who stuck it out with Mary after her problematic season. True. But did she need Meredith? No, because listen, if we're going to be honest, I thought about this, Adam, and I agree. I think that's where it is coming from. And I do believe that she did mean when she said to Mary in that fight that they had, that you used me for 3 years. I do believe Meredith feels that way. I don't believe that Mary would need to use Meredith. She clearly has a one-on-one connection with Andy, and I can speak from my own experience. I know I have commented a lot on Mary in the past and her behavior and as wild, but I've never disliked her. But after her DMing me and us having an exchange, I have so much more respect for her as a cast member, and I can see why Andy's drawn to her. You just want, she's so wise. And there's a lot of wisdom up there, and you know that she's a good friend. And we got to see that this season, and I think Meredith is feeling a little salty because she probably looks at their friendship more of like a real friendship. But I think what Meredith doesn't realize is that she isn't in Utah the whole year. She's very much traveling all the time. I mean, just go to her Instagram. So it's not like she's hanging out all the time. Like it's a complex situation, and every friendship is different. Every friendship is different. Some are going to be more layered than others. Some are going to be closer than others. I just find that between Meredith falling flat on her issues with Sean and then dragging out this issue with Angie for another season on top of that, and then seeing that Andy's like, this is not anything to be even upset about at this point. And then she's just kind of sitting there like, yeah, but this is all I got. It's like when someone comes to school with the project that's not completely finished, it's kind of almost finished, but you can tell that they like finished 80% of it the night before, early into the morning before they came to school. And then the teacher's like, what happened here? You had 6 weeks, Well, this, that. I mean, it's just like, it's the same thing. You're dragging on stuff. And then to come to find out, Sean didn't even do or say half the things that Meredith kept going on and on about. Because then you hear the whole context of the conversation with David Yontef that Sean was on his podcast. And it was like, oh, well, he was kind of walked into that statement with the question that was asked. Like, it's just like Meredith knew that. She knew that. And that's why I get really annoyed, because I do like Meredith. I've had her on my podcast for like a couple seasons back. She's lovely. She's very sweet. I don't know what's going on with her lately. This season wasn't good for her, you know? And speaking of which, we have Bronwyn, who, I'm sorry. All right, let me just say this before I dig into Bronwyn, because I did really appreciate this part about her and do appreciate this part about her because it says a lot. Bronwyn has a big heart. You can tell. And the reason why you can tell is because if you guys remember, she just days before she went on that trip to Puerto Vallarta, she was very badly attacked by a dog in a dog park because the owner was fostering the said dog, but didn't, do what should have been done, which was do not leave a fostered dog that you just got acquainted with in a dog park while you go to your car and take a call. So now most people, and I'll be honest, most people would have probably done everything in their power to sue that man and to have that dog put down. Happens all the time. And it's not the dog's fault at the end, right? Unfortunately, though. But Bronwyn instead, now, Danny, I can't do this right now because I want to believe so badly that it was not this way and that she didn't just make that whole thing up. Because if that is the case, that's horrible, and that adds to the laundry list of things I need to dig into her for. So if it wasn't this other dog that she's claimed it was, that's even worse. But based on her account, her point was, I not only did not sue that man, but I paid to basically get the dog taken care of and placed on a farm where they're not near other dogs, where they have the free reign to run around. And I appreciate that. Now, that could be a ton of BS, and it could have been her own foster dogs that attacked and mauled her. However, if that's the case, then that's on her. Like I said, after the way she played things this season, Bronwyn did, come to find out, you made a big spectacle. This whole entire reunion, like Lisa Barlow was trying to make you look horrible. No, you've been walking around saying and doing things that are not always correct. You made it seem like you bought the earrings and the necklace when it was brought up again in the reunion when Emma was brought up, because Emma basically called you out and said, no, you didn't buy anything. You didn't buy a stitch of diamond. Do you hear me? Not a stitch. So the point is that I find it to be so exhausting that she continues to do these things and make herself seem like she's been a victim to something. I don't understand it. Just get on the show, cause a little drama. Yes, be your authentic self. Again, I think she's a great addition. I'm not saying kick her off. I'm not a Bronwyn hater, but I'm going to call it out. Sorry. You didn't buy, it's okay though. It's okay you didn't buy the necklace and the earrings. Do you know why? Because real people with real money and wealth don't go dropping $4 to $5 million on necklaces and earrings just because. That's not how it works, baby. So in the event that those purchases do happen, it's not typically on camera. No one, not Todd, not Father Todd, maybe other guys that are looking to showboat. Father Todd's not looking to impress you guys, okay? He's not. He created the Palm Pilot. He's done. He made his contribution to technology. He doesn't need to prove his wealth to anyone. So if you didn't buy it, just be like, no, we didn't end up buying it, or just being like, yeah, it was way too pricey of something. No, whatever. But you kept holding on to it. No, we just got a smaller version we ordered that you never paid for. Because then on Watch What Happens Live, you came out and said you didn't. And then on the show, this is another good example. On the show, on that boat, you made us, me included, feel like, wow, that is horrific that happened. And, finding out that your husband's having any type of affair, emotional, physical, all that's a mind F. So we were all Heather in the moment. We're like, F him, dude. But we should have been paying attention more to Lisa Barlow, because she knew more than what we seem to have picked up on. Which is funny because, again, Bronwyn tries to twist around Lisa Barlow, what she said on her mic after they got off that boat. And she said something completely opposite to what Lisa Barlow even said. She said something snide about her marriage. No, she didn't. She said, Todd's going to lose his shit when he sees this. Lisa Barlow never once said anything negative about Bronwyn's marriage. In fact, she was quite the opposite. She was actually probably being like, you should probably stop doing that. Todd's not going to like that. That's not what you should be coming on here doing. Not on your first season. Maybe not at all. I don't know if it's a good idea to lead your storyline with all the issues you've not resolved in your marriage. I don't think that's a good idea. So that didn't land. Bronwyn is going to have to answer to a lot next season, I think. Methinks Bronwyn's going to have a lot of questions coming her way. It's going to be very interesting to watch what happens next season. Okay? But we've got to jump over to Lisa and Whitney, because they have not been able to figure this out at all. And listen, I said this on my recap today on TikTok and Instagram. I don't care. You guys out there that think I'm on payroll for Lisa Barlow, that's fine. You can think that. I can guarantee you I don't need to be on Lisa Barlow's or any housewife's payroll. And by just knowing a lot of them, they don't do that type of thing, because that's like a waste of money. Why would you pay people like you don't need to do that. There's so many hungry tigers out there that would do it for free. Did you not watch Real Housewives of New Jersey last season? Give me a break. But anyways, I want to chime in here with Lisa Barlow, because you know what? Here's the thing. I know editing can make things look a certain way, but when you actually take a step back and there's moments where they clip back to unseen footage that had it been shown, would have probably alleviated a lot of this confusion. But, with Whitney, it was clear from episode 1, she was gunning for Lisa Barlow, and she was going to try to pin this Alibaba situation on her. That backfired, because the person she talked to, Adam, she swears he confirmed this, but then he said, no, I didn't. And then Dana Wilkie was like, no, I told her it wasn't Lisa Barlow, after Adam said it wasn't confirmed that it was. So what is going on here? So then you keep carrying this on, then you wait till the finale dinner to find the meanest thing in your phone that wasn't something that you said, it was just a rumor that someone told you about. Then you're confused why Lisa Barlow is even that much more pissed off and going off the rails. Well, I don't know, because it was pretty pointed of you to pick that as the message. I just feel that Whitney was hanging on to straws by the end of this third part of the reunion, because in my mind, it's like, well, if she doesn't get this resolved to a point where it's neutral, this could be another strike on whether or not Whitney should come back for another season. Okay? You even saw Heather being like, come on, you don't want to make up with her, Lisa? And Lisa had to finally be like, you all need to stop chiming in and telling me what I need to do. That also pisses me off. I do not like when people tell me what I need to do. I will get there if I do on my own. Lisa had a lot of unresolved tension. It wasn't just around that message. It was that the fact that, and Meredith even pointed it out, thankfully, because it would have gone in circles, but Meredith was finally like, No, Whitney, it's that you keep doing the same type of thing over after you've said sorry, you go and you do it again. So that's the problem. It's not that we can't move on from this one thing. It's that you keep doing these types of things. So what do you expect? And Lisa gave her one. She knows what that means. She knows that she's running across the straight stage because she's essentially desperate. Because if she don't make up with her, then it's where are we going to go from here? You don't have much that you're giving us as it is. You made Lisa your entire storyline. So if you don't make up with her because it didn't come out, you didn't have concrete evidence. Listen, I think they're going to give Whitney one more shot. Okay? That's what I think. I think they're going to give her one more shot. I think that production or whoever the powers that be are that believe in her still are going to come to her and they're going to give her a strong talking to like they gave Dorit before she started filming the current season that's airing. And they're going to say, you actually start sharing stuff that's actually happening and you're upfront about it, or we don't know where you go, meaning you don't go here. Because I'll tell you one thing, Brittany may be a mess, but she's got a lot more that she's willing to share. And with a little fine tuning, she could be a fantastical housewife. So no, I know a lot of people are saying, no more Brittany, no more Brittany. Look, I'm done with the friend of Brittany. I'm ready for like the Brittany that's ready to share and really try to take some accountability for her own story in her life. Because I do think it's interesting. I think it's interesting watching her navigate through these things, although sometimes it is hard to watch because it's like, oh my God, girl, grow up. But at the same time, this is real life. There are a lot of people like Brittany out there that could really relate to her and she could help and inspire. Anyways, I guess that means I'm on Brittany's payroll too. Oh boy. Listen, I thought, like I said, this season was stellar. Absolutely stellar. I can't wait for next season. What I also thought was really interesting, and I don't know if you guys thought into this, I really questioned, why is Meredith picking up any phone call from Jen Shah? And why did it sound like she was defending her? Do you not remember how she basically implied for a very long time, Meredith, that you were the reason that those people showed up at the Sprinter van outside of Heather's beauty lab? Do you forget? How quickly you forgot. This goes back to me thinking that some of those rumors about Jen and Meredith were true. And I think there's a lot of stuff that Jen Shah knows about Meredith, and there's something there. I don't know why Meredith can hold on to such a like small, minute thing that wasn't even a thing with Angie and her husband for almost 2 years. But Jen Shah can do all that horrific stuff, make her look all crazy, and you're taking her collect phone call from jail? Why? And then saying she served her time? She's still serving it. I'm glad Mary corrected her. Like, I wouldn't take her phone call. Are you crazy? The trauma she put all those women through? And I'll give it to Whitney. She called it out right. Everyone got mad at her for contacting Monica. Monica doesn't hold a candle to what Jen Shah has done. Get a grip. So, you know what? If this is trying to keep the window open for a possible return for Jen Shah, because I don't think Meredith needs to be the window open, because here's the thing. If Jen Shah gets out, they're definitely going to make a way for her to come back. They're definitely going to do it, because here's why. Those ratings will be so through the roof. Are you kidding me? It's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. What else is going on? Yeah, so let me know your thoughts. I don't know what you guys thought of the season, inclusive of all the reunion. You know, I don't know. Who stays, who goes? I think Meredith needs another shot. I just think that this wasn't a good season for her, unfortunately. Whitney, on the other hand, I've already said, there's not a lot going on, and it was clear this season. So I hope if they do intend on bringing her back, that they give her a strong talking to, because honestly, this isn't it. We don't need any more seasons like that, Whitney. Okay? Thank you. I wanted to bring this up. Yes, not paid by anyone. And not to forget defrauding elderly. How do you skip over that? Like, I don't think I could ever talk to anyone that did that. That could have been your mom. That could have been someone's grandparents and stuff. And you're just so casual. Like, well, she served her time. She's paying restitution. Like, who cares? The damage has been done. And how long is it going to take her to pay restitution, Meredith? Give me a break. She's not going to be done paying that anytime soon. It's not like people are getting their money back and moving on. That's not how that works. So I thought that was really strange. But you guys let me know what your thoughts are, as always, because, you know, I want to know. I like hearing everyone's side of the story and opinions. But really quick, I want to say big thank you to everyone who was in the live chat today. I really, really appreciate you guys joining me. I know it's not always easy, but there is a lot going on. So I'm glad to be here to kind of give everyone a little break, take your mind off of what may be, you know, consuming you and whatnot. There is a lot. So hopefully, you know, this kind of gets us into the weekend and we kind of keep our head low. You know what I'm saying? Just a reminder, if you're in the live chat, make sure you hit the like button. That helps us quite a bit over here. And get subscribed if you're not subscribed. Also, at the beginning of the show, I played my newest single from my newest album, Glitter, Bruises, and Forever, which will be available on Spotify tomorrow. You can listen to the entire album, though, and all of my music on my YouTube channel, Georgio Says. Yes, I keep all of my work in one place. So music, Bravo, Justin, Blake Lively, all of that fun stuff. So go check it out. And thank you guys again for everyone who followed our Pasta Rituals Instagram page yesterday. We're very excited to launch this. If you love pasta, if you love ravioli, we're going to have 3 flavors that are to die for. And I can't wait until we launch, because like it's been such an exciting process to work on this, and it's been years in the making. But yes, so thank you guys. You can follow us at Pasta Rituals on Instagram, and you can visit us on pastarituals.com for updates on the launch date and all that fun stuff. But with that, I think I will leave you on this beautiful Thursday with a fun little, you know, recreation of what I think happened after Ryan and Blake took that selfie that they just posted. I think it was Ryan that posted it on his stories just the other day. But what happened leading up to that photo? You know, let's find out.
What the fuck was that? Let it go, Ryan.
Who sends voice mood at 2 a.m.?
Oh, everything's fine. Don't you worry. I do think it's funny. By the way, for any confusion, that was AI. The only thing that was real in that was the actual still photo. Just poking a little fun, because I know Ryan's probably taking every chance he can get to bring up that 2 a.m. voice note of Justin to Blake. Hey, Blake. What a mess this all is. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me. Tomorrow's Friday. We have an all-new show tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're part of the replay crew, let me know in the comments section. I love me some replay crew. All right, guys, I want you guys to stay safe. If it's raining or cold, snowing, all of the above, just stay dry. Make sure you got your snacks. Make sure you got your bevies. And if you dabble in the devil's lettuce, make sure you're stocked up on that too. I think I might need to stock up myself. Nonetheless, I'll talk to you guys on tomorrow's show. So yeah. All right. Bye.
We need to talk about this. Every rumor, every twist on the Georgio Says podcast. We need to talk about. So hit that play, stay in the know. Georgio's here to steal the show on the Georgio Says